Hey, Kelly here. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about Nikon's new in-body focus limiting feature that they added to the Nikon Z8 firmware, or will be soon. And when I first heard about this, I was so excited. If you have ever been in a situation where the camera either slightly wants to focus on the foreground, you have some foreground elements in front, or something behind that the camera might want to focus on, this whole idea of focus limiting is so could be so helpful. And the other thing that no one mentions is that it also can dramatically improve just your focus accuracy and the time to focus, because the camera just is going to ignore everything except for just this small window. And it means the lens just has less distance to travel, and the camera just has to focus on a very narrow window. So this feature could just be so powerful. But then I, I hesitate. I hesitate because some people, you're going to be like, Kelly, you're just bashing Nikon. No, I'm not. Nikon, got my Z6 III here, and I'm putting this video out there primarily because I think this will probably come to other cameras, and I think it could be better, like dramatically better. So, anyway, here's some quotes. First of all, here's some quotes from leading influencers about this feature that just came out in the last week or so. Jared Polin says a new camera focus limiter has been added, which restricts the focus range to a specific distance, which is pretty useful. So that's what he had to say. Nikon Europe Risi. This is a feature I've been waiting for a really long time. The in-body focus limiter is going to be a great addition for any of you that are shooting in difficult scenarios for wildlife sports or moving subjects where you find the focus is jumping to the foreground or the background. Bobby Tolini, here's what he said. I just tried it briefly, but I will tell you, you're going to need your measurements. It doesn't have to be completely accurate, but in the ballpark, because if you're shooting a longer distance away, I don't know how you're going to do that. Yeah, but it's just trial and error to get it to work. Matt Granger, here's what he said. Because he was testing it. He said, I guess my subject is, I don't know, 4 meters away from me. And the furthest is, I don't know, let's say 7 meters. And then he went on to actually use the AF on button and the shutter release to set the minimum and the maximum. And then he said, and once he did that, he said, so I'm manually going to reduce that to say 5 meters because I don't want it to be able to get to the background. And then he said, I think this could be super helpful in challenging situations. Matt Irwin said, the in-body focus limiter is going to be useful to so many types of photographers and so many use cases. I would expect a feature like this to come across all of the cameras. So here's my main points for this video. First of all, this is such an important feature, and it can be so helpful. But the way Nikon implemented it is kind of clunky. It's clunky because the photographer has to like manually set these things. And it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, the camera knows the distances. The camera already knows. It knows. The camera knows the distances. So, and here's the thing. Nikon has had months to work on this feature. I spent 30 minutes. And what I'm going to show you is how I would have implemented this. And I am 99% sure that this could work. I think. Pretty sure. And not that what I have here is absolutely perfect, but just imagine if they did it this way. Okay, so you go to the focus limiter setting, not the way they have it now, but in my envisioned way, okay? And this is what you see. Focus limiter toggle, on or off. And there's a little asterisk, and down below it says toggle the focus limiter with any camera button selected in the camera controls. So you can go to camera controls and you can tell camera controls to either set this button or some other button that you want to use to toggle the focus limiter on or off. All right, so you're shooting, you've acquired focus on some subject, you just hit the button and focus limiting is turned on. That's the idea. Anyway. And then once you turn it on, then you have the second setting, which is focus limiting range, plus or minus %. All right. So let's see how that would work. So then you get this screen, set focus limiting plus or minus %. And here I have it set for 20%. And then you have a little help thing at the bottom that says, if your subject is 20 meters away, this will limit plus or minus 4 meters, or 16 meters to 24 meters, plus or minus 4. And now you as a photographer don't have to, and you can set it 10%, whatever your range is, whatever you're comfortable with. The nice thing about a percentage is that if you're shooting a close-up shot, right? If you're shooting close up, the percentage is a little smaller because that would make more sense, right? You've got a very kind of a narrow window. But if your subject is really far away, then you get a slightly more depth. And maybe there's some other options here. And if you're watching, you're super smart. You can put in the comments below some other thoughts. But my point is, you could just set this percentage, and then as you're shooting, the camera already knows your focus distance, right? You've focused whatever the last focus distance was on whatever subject you're shooting. You just toggle it on, and as soon as you toggle it on, the camera's like, "Oh, I'm only going to focus from here to here until they release it." And if you have another subject, think about this: you're shooting wildlife, and there's a subject over to the right. You're like, "Oh, I just want to make sure you toggle it on, you take your shots, and then something else shows up on your left and it's closer." What are you going to do? Go into the menu system and try and figure out how far away is that and mess around with the menu and reset it? No, that's not helpful. You just turn it off, acquire focus, flip it back on, boom, you've got your focus limiting. Dynamic, based on distance, set to a certain percentage. The camera can do this. I promise you the camera can do this. This is like grade school math. Anyway, this is a really short video just saying I think this could be one of the most fantastic features for Nikon Z cameras, but the way they implement it is just really clunky. It shouldn't have to be that way. And I have the Nikon Z6 III. I love it. If this feature is going to come to the Z6 III, my hope is that maybe by some miracle, somebody would pick this up and say, maybe we could improve this, right? Maybe we could improve it and improve it. And Nikon does that sometimes, right? They improve features. Right, they add more capabilities. Anyway, that's my little my rant. I love the idea. I think it's fantastic. I think it could be a lot better and super helpful with a little programming. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like these kind of videos, subscribe. That'd be great. And hit the like button. Share this if you think, yeah, Nikon should do this. Hit the thumbs up. Just hit the thumbs up. That'll maybe get this out a little bit more. And maybe, just maybe, somebody at Nikon will see it. That's like my only hope, because I'm not going to use this. There's no way I'm going to use this the way it is. But boy, could it be useful. Anyway, Thanks for watching. Really quick video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.